So if you follow me on Twitter at The Quartering, which you definitely should do, you know that I teased a little bit last night about having some information on ultimately what led to Barring's channel suspension and now has been reinstated. And people like Tim Pool's community guideline strikes on their channels. I couldn't really find anybody publicly speaking about it. So a few people reached out to me with what at the time felt like a conspiracy or a theory. And I don't want to name the CBD company that put out this ad because I think they were just seeking attention, but they wrote, referring to one of these suspended YouTubers, "Hello guys, according to a few associates, YouTube is tweaking open policies to delete any channel promoting CBD without giving YouTube a cut. YouTube is now going to cut any channel that went around networking for sponsorship. They're mad we stopped paying them." This felt at the time a little weird, but some people alerted me to it, and it was interesting. I reached out to a few of the people inside of YouTube that I know are with connections to YouTube and basically said, well, and also I reached out to the person that tweeted this and said, can you provide any evidence of this? This sounds like conspiracy theory. This sounds made up. This sounds like drumming up interest in your name. Of course, they never replied. And my YouTube rep, and I quote, said, "Seems like a load of rubbish to me." And that's what it felt like to me too, because channels have been doing their own outside sponsorships for years. YouTube has never, ever, ever had any type of problem with it. So I thought, well, okay, that's confirmed. No, YouTube is not giving people copyright strikes simply for procuring outside sponsorship. But what they are giving copyright strikes for is promoting CBD oil. There's a ton of money getting poured in to CBD oil advertising. And before I get into a little bit about what CBD oil is or that type of thing, if you are a YouTuber or if you know a YouTuber that is running ads for CBD oil, I highly recommend deleting those videos, or at least if you can delete the advertisement or something, because it is very likely you will get a community strike. And I don't want to see that happen. In fact, I was approached by a CBD oil company, and they offered me a lot of money to advertise their product. Several $1,000s, even on my small channel. And I didn't want to do it because, well, it felt like snake oil at the time. I'm not a doctor, but what I can tell you is that its testing is limited at this point. There's some evidence about it providing help to kids with seizure problems or for anxiety. So I bought some, and I said, look, if this helps me with my anxiety as somebody who takes a psychotropic drug to deal with anxiety problems, I will wholeheartedly do this commercial and support your product and shill it. I took it for about 30 days, and I will say I felt like I slept better, which I think is a good thing. But it didn't really do much for my anxiety. It didn't do much for back pain like people are saying. But this video is not to debunk CBD. It's just to point out that this is not... I would have advertised it. I would have found myself in the same trap had it have worked for me in a way that I felt comfortable advertising it to all of you. So if you have been watching, obviously you saw Barring's channel get terminated. You saw people like Tim Pool come out and say he got a community strike. And I know there are a lot of other people in this space that have done advertisements for CBD oil because why not? At minimum, the drug is very highly tolerated. Many states have no problem with its legality, although it is still illegal on the federal level. So you can buy it through the mail. You can buy it if you're in a state where marijuana is legal. It's not psychoactive. It does nothing. It doesn't make you high. It tastes a little like weed, in my opinion, which I like that taste. So I guess that's cool. But, you know, the part of weed that makes you high is THC. The CBD cannabinoid, you know, I've seen it proclaimed to fix everything from, you know, anxiety to back pain to seizures to, you know, hundreds and hundreds of families moved to Colorado when that story of the kid who had, it appeared that the CBD oil had treated the kids' seizures. So overall, I don't know. That was an aside on CBD oil. It's not an endorsement. It's not a debunking. Just saying. A lot of people wonder what the hell it is. And I was able to then confirm with 2 different YouTube contacts that they did in fact receive strikes for advertising CBD oil. Now with Behring, it's interesting because he's in Australia. I don't really know the legalities of it there, but it being illegal on the federal level means it got caught up in the attack on WeedTube. Now, a couple of weeks ago, if you're watching what was going on with YouTube, you know that it basically, along the same lines as it did with the Pro 2A channels on YouTube, with a purge, it went through a lot of weed channels. Now, some of these channels were basically just burnouts, smoking weed and whatever, doing whatever. And some of them were more educational, medicinal, and helpful. It didn't really matter. They culled almost everybody. And turns out now my initial suspicions about advertising for CBD oil, if you remember when I talked about Behring getting suspended, that was the one thing I hypothesized it was. That was it. So while he wasn't suspended directly for that, based on what I know, he did receive a strike for it. And he also had some mass flagging that happened to his account. Tim Pool received a strike for it. I don't know if he's been public about it, but this is what I'm told by a reliable source. So at least we know. Now, this is particularly scary as a content creator. Yes, the correct answer is they should have done their own research. They should have figured out if they were able to take that advertisement at all. But even my people that I talked to inside of YouTube said that the T's and C's, the information is difficult to understand in the YouTube backend. You'd have to have some kind of direct line, and then you'd have to ask, hey, is this okay? It's also interesting that my guess is these CBD oil companies knew full well that they did not qualify for Google AdSense and didn't qualify for advertising on YouTube. And so they went out and sponsored YouTubers, putting them at risk, full well knowing that their product would lead to them possibly receiving strikes. That is concerning. And I'm not going to name names because I can't know what somebody knew, right? I can't know that CBD oil A company knew that it was outside of the lines of what YouTube would allow, so that's why they offered so much money. And CBD oil company B didn't know, so it's a mistake on both of their parts. Ultimately, the takeaway here is this is a result of, the apocalypse. This is secondary problems, right? YouTube creators have to reach out and ask for sponsorships to try and support their channels, and I fully understand that. But we as content creators have to be more vigilant. We can't expect people reaching out to us offering to pay us money have our best interests in mind, because quite frankly, there's a sea of people that will advertise for just about anything if the price is right. So CBD oil, I guess, no good. It's their words were from YouTube that they treat CBD oil the same as any other drug, which is odd given the company location in California. But again, they have to deal with federal laws. I don't think YouTube wants to be accused of, supporting drug rings. That's all we need is another article section, another, dying mainstream media attack on YouTube because of CBD oil ads, even though, as far as I know, there's really no negative side effects from CBD oil. You could drink a gallon of it and not get high. I know people that give it to their dogs to calm them down during storms. But nonetheless, this is how they view it. And it's unfortunate that YouTube didn't give anybody any warning. They didn't give them, a strike and then, or an email and say, hey, this is not okay. They just gave account strikes, which takes away their ability to live stream. Just another day in the life of a content creator on YouTube. So stay away from CBD oil ads. And the lesson is, if you are trying to support your YouTube channel, that you better be crystal clear and be your own best advocate in terms of the deals you take, because ultimately no one's going to protect you when it goes bad.